All right, waste no time. That's what we're doing. We're wasting no time. Let's start with A. 3 1/3. It's been a while since we subtracted mixed numbers. 2 3/4. Remember, whenever we're subtracting mixed numbers or fractions, you want to have them up and down or vertical. That tells our brain, oh yeah, you got to make sure they have the same denominator first, right? 3 4/4, you can't subtract, so you got to give them the same name. The first name they both have in common is 12. It's the least common multiple. And then you use the magic number. How many 3's make 12? 4. Do it to the bottom. Do it to the top. 1/3 is the exact same thing as 4/12. Down here is times 3 is the magic number, times 3. So 3/4 is equal to 9/12. Now we subtract, right? This is old news. If you have 4 and you lose 9, it's illegal. We got to borrow from our whole friend. Our whole friend is worth how many 12s? Our whole friend is worth 12 12s. So now you have 4 12s and 12. I'm sorry, yeah, you have 4 12s and 12 12s. You have 16 12s. And 16 minus 9, 7 12s. And 2 minus 2 is 2. So the answer for A is 7 12s. Let's go over to B. Ooh, B. We are going to have 8 minus 3 times, remember we're not supposed to have letters in algebra, so it should be a dot, 2 minus 8 divided by 6. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The first thing we do is any multiplication or division. There's a multiplication problem here, and there's a division problem here. Go from left to right. So it's 8 minus 6 minus 8 divided by 6. Why? Because 3 times 2 is 6. Now we can do our division. And you can either throw it in the house or slice it. I like to slice it. It's equal to 8 6. What is 8 6 equal to? Well, there's 6 6 in it, and there's still 2 6 left. So therefore, I have a new problem of 8 minus 6 minus 1 and 2/6. 1 and 2/6 is the same as 1 and 1/3, right? Because we're simplifying 2/3, or I'm sorry, 2/6, which is equal to 1/3. If you keep 1 and 2/6 there, it's still fine. Now everything's subtraction, so we have 8 minus 6, which is 2, and it's 2 minus 1 and 1/3. Now we have 2 minus 2 minus 1 and 1/3. We have to borrow. You can't take 1/3 from nothing, so the 1 whole turns into 3/3. 3/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3, and 1 minus 1 is nothing. So B is equal to 2/3. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, with this kind of math, there are so many steps. There are so many steps to the problem that if you got it wrong, you shouldn't get frustrated. You should instead focus on which step did I miss, okay? Because getting this problem right is like getting 100% on a math test. Are you supposed to get 100% every time? No, you want to, but it's not, you make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So instead of focusing on just getting the answer correct, just try to figure out which one you got wrong. Okay? All right. So A, we have B. Let's go to C. Ooh, conversions. Okay, so the first one, it looks like we're doing the metric system. So K, H, D, D, C, M. We're starting with kiloliters and going to milliliters. Ooh, kilos here, millas here. That's a long trip, folks. So we are going to move right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. right 6. We're starting with 54. 54 is a whole number, so it has an invisible decimal here, and we're moving at right 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Decimal ends up going way over there. I just want to make sure that that's a decimal. Adding my zeros. And then throwing in my commas. 54 million! That's humongous. So it's equal to 54 million milliliters, which makes sense. 54 hot tubs is worth 54 million drops of water, or whatever it is. Yeah, water. All right, so 84.5 meters equals how many millimeters? Well, I'm going to reuse this up here. We're starting with meters, which, remember, meters is your base, and we're going to millimeters. So we're starting here, and once again, we're moving right. 1, 2, 3. So we're moving right 3. So I'm going to take my 84.5 and move the decimal right. 1, 2, 3. Ends up being 84,500 millimeters. Now we have 2 more conversions, everybody's favorite. We are going to go from inches to feet. What's the relationship of inches to feet? Well, we know that 12 inches are in 1 foot. And right now we have 36 inches, so we got to figure out how many feet that is. Well, how many 12s are in 36? Times 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. So how many feet are 36 inches? 3 feet. And we got one last one here. We have 3 1/4 yards. And we're going to feet. What do I know? I know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard. And I also know right now I have 3 1/4. I need to figure out how many feet that is. Well, how many 3 1/4 do I, or how many ones do I have? 3 1/4. So I'm going to take 3 and multiply it by 3 1/4. Ooh, 3 times 3 1/4. 3 times 3 1/4. Remember, when you multiply fractions, they have to be in numerators and denominators. So that 3 has a numerator denominator, but what's 3 1/4? Ooh, we have to turn it into an improper fraction. You multiply these 2 numbers, so 12/4 is in 3 wholes, plus the 1/4, 13/4, multiply across. 13 times 3 is 39. And now one last thing. How many 4s are in 39? Well, 9 times 4 is 36. So I'm going to go 9. What's left over? 3. So 9 3/4. It's a whole lot of work right there, isn't it? Yowza. So remember, I understand that it's not easy to get all these right. There's so many steps. This is math now, okay? But don't look at it like you're defeated if you got them wrong. Look at it like, ooh, where did I go wrong? All right. Now on to the challenge question. Remember, you want to break it somewhere. I'm going to break it right here. Now we have 5 by 4. Well, 5 by 4 would give me this, but we don't have this number right here. Well, this is equal to this, which is equal to this, which is equal to this, which is equal to 3. So this is a 3 right here. And 4 times 3 is 12. And 12 times 5 is 60. See how I did that? I found the area of the top. The area of the top is 3 by 4. I knew it was 3 because it's equal to this, 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 and this. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then 12 goes up and down 5 in this figure, so it's 60. So the area or the volume of the top cube is 60. Now we got to figure out the bottom cube. Well, I always like to find the area of the base, and the area of the base would be 12 by 3, which is 36. And then that goes up and down 3. So 36 times 3, 36 times 3, 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So that's 108. So the volume of the bottom is 108. Volume of the top, 60. Add those together. The answer is 168. Because bottom's 108, top is 60, 168. All right. Take a breath. I'm not going to jump too far into today's lesson on this video. In fact, I am going to jump more so in the live session. But before I do, to pay attention, let's go with bad breath. Okay, because look at this guy. I mean, you could only imagine what that smells like. This guy, luckily, it looks like he might have already been punched by his tail, maybe. I'm not sure, but luckily, like, it doesn't look like he could smell this breath right here. But in order to pay attention, to see if you're paying attention, I'm going to ask you, what did I talk about in the relationship between Godzilla and King Kong? And it was about bad breath. Okay. All right. Today we are talking about classifying quadrilaterals. Disgusting, right? Disgusting. Well, I thought so, at least when I was in 5th grade. Shapes were difficult for me because it has a lot to do with just memorizing names, really, and what they mean. So let's slow it down and talk about these. First of all this quadrilateral means, let's just start here. Let's pretend like you don't see anything else. Let's just start with this word right here. Quadrilateral just means a 4-sided shape, okay? That's all it means. Quad, think about quarter, okay? QUA, 4, so it's 4-sided shapes, okay? So in order to be a part of this club, you got to have 4 sides. If you don't have 4 sides, you're not a quadrilateral, and this does not pertain to you. So get out of here. Now, in order to be a part of the 4-sided club, one of 2 things must be true. You're a parallelogram or you're not a parallelogram. Okay? So a parallelogram means that no matter what, you have 4 sides. So that means there's 2 couples, right? These 2 lines are a couple. These 2 lines are a couple. Why are they a couple? Because they're equal to each other. I'm sorry, they're parallel. These 2 are parallel. What does parallel mean? Parallel means they're never ever going to run into each other. Those are bad examples of parallel lines because they would run into each other somewhere down the road because they're not perfectly parallel. So a parallelogram means this couple's parallel and this couple's parallel. Okay? You have 2 groups of parallel lines. But if you're not a parallelogram, you only have 1 group that's parallel. See how these 2 lines are never going to run into each other? They could go straight forever and they would never run into each other. But what about these lines? Oh, snap. So right off the bat, if you're filling out your quadrilateral group questionnaire, they're going to say, do you have 4 sides? And you're going to say, check. Okay, sir, you need to go with the quadrilaterals. And then you go there and they're like, do you have 2 pairs of parallel lines? And you just say, yep. And then they're like, okay, sir, go over there with the parallelograms. Or you're like, no, I'm sorry. I only have 1 pair of parallelogram or parallel line. Okay, sir, you need to go with the trapezoids. So right away, you are separated between parallelogram or trapezoid. Parallelogram means you have two groups of parallel lines. Trapezoid means you only have one. And you might say, well, what if you don't have any? It's impossible to draw a four-sided figure with no parallel lines, okay? All right. I'm pretty sure. I'll check that fact and let you guys know during our live session. Because now I'm drawing a picture. I'm like, oh, maybe you could. But anyways, in the quadrilaterals, we're saying you either have one pair of parallel lines or you have no pair, or I'm sorry, you have one pair or you have two pairs. Now, if you're a parallelogram, you could either have completely equal sides. That would make you a square, right? Or you have one pair that's shorter than the other pair, but they're still all parallel. That would make you a rectangle. Or you have all equal sides, but you don't have all 90-degree angles. That would make you a rhombus, okay? So I should have said that. Parallelograms, if they have 90-degree angles, which means you can make a perfect square in them. If you have four 90-degree angles, you're either going to be a rectangle or a square. And if you don't have 90-degree angles, then you're going to be a rhombus, okay? So let me get rid of all this nonsense so you're not confused, because I think I confused you guys for a second. And let's start from the get-go. Let's go right here. Let's say, okay, you're a quadrilateral. That means you have four sides, okay? Now, if you're a parallelogram, two pairs of parallel sides. So you have four sides. Ooh, and you're a parallelogram? Congratulations, you have two pairs of parallel sides. Oh, no, I'm sorry, you're a trapezoid? That means you only have one pair of parallel sides. Exactly one. Let's move on down. Oh, you're a parallelogram. Oh, you have four right angles? That means you're a rectangle. Congratulations, sir. You have four right angles. Oh, you do not have four right angles? You just have four equal sides? Okay, you're a rhombus. Oh, wait, you have four right angles and they're all exactly the same side? Congratulations, you're a square. And then if you have four right angles, then you're a rhombus with four right angles. So you can be a rhombus without right angles, because a square is technically also a rhombus. All right, I'm going to shed some clarity on this lesson in the live session. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys at 10:30. Bye.